Hello everyone, I'm Watson. In this video, we're going to talk about how to set up a PoE PTZ IP camera 500 meters away from our network. So, to do this, the best solution is to use PoE. And PoE is the technology to transmit power and data through a single Ethernet cable. With this benefit, the PoE also has a problem we have to solve first. Signal only goes for 100 meters. After 100 meters, we're going to need a device to help us repeat the signal and transmit it further on. Usually, we would introduce to use a PoE extender. And PoE extenders are many kinds as well. What I have right here is the one input, one output PoE extender. These can extend the PoE signals for another 100 meters, and we can daisy chain them up to 300 meters. Although there is a very special feature about two of the PoE extenders. If we use two one input, one output PoE extenders, we will be able to create a very high-speed tunnel between these two. So us Fast Cabling has provided a kit, which we call the 300-meter extension kit. When we face the two PoE extenders, the two input ports towards each other like this will create a 300-meter transmission on these two sides. And on the other ends, we will still have 100 meters. So a total of 500 meters Ethernet length will be created. So 100 meters from here, and then 300 meters between, and then on the other end, we'll have another 100 meters. So with this feature, we'll be able to set up any kind of IP device 500 meters away from our network. Now we have the method of repeating and transmitting further than 100 meters. We're going to have to think of how to provide the PoE signals. Today we're going to use a PoE injector. This is a 95 watts PoE injector, and after 500 meters it will still have enough power to power up a PTZ IP camera. So a PoE injector is more often used when you have a regular Ethernet network and you want to upgrade it to a PoE network. Then this will help us receive the data from our Ethernet network and add power to it, transmitting PoE signals from this port. Or if we have a PoE network already, but we're sure that the port output for the PoE switch is not enough to power up like a PoE PTZ camera 500 meters away, we can add a PoE injector right behind that PoE switch and allow us to power it up. Okay, and now I'm going to demonstrate how to use a 300-meter extension kit and set up this 500-meter extension for this PTZ camera. So let's talk about this PTZ camera quickly. The PTZ camera is a camera that can roll around its axis, tilt up and down, and zoom in and out. It can zoom almost to 300 meters, so even there is like a place we want to take a look at 300 meters away, we can zoom in and get more details. And don't worry if you're going to think it's going to get too blurry, because our Fast Cabling PTZ camera has a resolution at 5 megapixels. So 5 megapixels will give us very clear details even if we zoom in a lot. And the outside material we use for this camera is metal, so it will help us release the heat because there are a lot of motors inside. When it's moving around the camera, it will release a lot of heat. The metal casing will help us release the heat efficiently. And also, it is rated IP67 waterproof, so it is totally okay to leave outdoors. The rain will not damage the components within. And also, a camera like this will have a motion detector and human detection, will help us save a lot of space in our hard disk drive if we want to record the footage. And of course, our camera is ON-WIF compatible, so it basically can connect with any kind of network video recorders in the market. And now, let's see how we should set up this whole camera system. So first of all, we have our NVR here. This will be the source of our data. And first, we're going to use an Ethernet cable to connect to our PoE injector. The NVR will connect to the Ethernet port, which will be the data source. And then we're going to connect one of our PoE extenders to the injector first. So we have to tilt the first PoE extender around to let the PoE signal go through the output port first. You have to remember this very carefully because if you set it up the wrong way, it will not create this high-speed network. So basically, remember the two input ports should be facing together. So output port connected to the PoE port on the injector, and then we're going to connect the input port with this very long 300-meter Ethernet cable. And on the other PoE extender, because we have to face the two input ports towards each other, so the input port with our Ethernet cable. And then another 100 meters can be applied here to our IP camera. And when we're setting up, you can check the indicators on the PoE extender to see if it's working properly. So when the indicators in the PoE extender are blinking, this means the device is receiving the power and data. And now we're going to get an image of the PoE PTZ IP camera shortly on our monitor here. Now you can see there is image on our monitor here. I'm going to wave my hand so you can see this is a real-time live video. And this means this whole connection is currently set up. All right, that's pretty much it. And remember, always, if we're going to use this 300-meter extension kit, we're going to want the two input ports to face towards each other. And if you have any more questions about this setup, you can leave them at the section below. Thank you guys for watching today, and I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.